All right, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing weekly work session with Get Oiling. I am Coach Ashley, and today we've got a super special session joined by our team here today and some special guests. You're going to learn a little bit more about this in just a second. If you are brand new and this is your first time here, welcome. This is a free session that we hold every week to help you grow your Young Living business. Whether you're a part of the Get Oiling community or not, we'd certainly love to have you. Either way, you can head over to getoiling.com/weekly work session to get on this list if you're watching this as a replay. And of course, for those of you here right now, let us know in the comments if you know who our guests are and how excited you are to hear what they have to say. If you came here with questions today, if you came here needing help, this is a session that is designed to help you grow. We do some training in the first half, and then we roll up our sleeves and get to work with you in the second. So if you came here with questions and need help today, we're here for you. Go ahead and put those questions in the Q&A, and we will work with you at the close of our training part of this, this broadcast. So we're seeing some comments come through here. Everybody's excited. We have got Dr. Dave and Dr. Troy of ULA. So you guys, ULA is here today. You guys go ahead and say hi. We're Brady bunching this right now.
Yeah, we're happy to be here, man. This is gonna be awesome.
This will be a blast. I can't wait.
Awesome.
We're very excited to have you guys on.
This is completely Brady Bunch. At the end, we have to say bye, good night, Ashley.
So who am I? I think I'm like, who am I, Greg? Now, if I'm in the upper middle on my
dude, you're way too old if you even know. You don't
you're
even want to
Marsha,
give that
dude.
away.
You are Marsha. You kind of look like Marsha. Yeah, Marsha. I want to be Jan, the one that doesn't get the attention, and like I feel bad about myself and lack confidence. You're Marsha, like you get all the attention in ULA. Like you're the good-looking one.
I got
it. All right, cool.
You don't even need to be
This is the most fun I think I've ever had on an intro.
Yeah, the whole thing's gonna be this. This is it. Like we could talk about Jan's lack of confidence and how she feels inferior to her sister. Think about that. That would be very valuable coaching. Very valuable coaching.
There we go. All right, this just took a whole new direction, you guys. Buckle up. All right. Welcome, everybody coming in from all over the world right now. We are so blessed to have you and so honored to serve you in the growth of your business. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, this is not slides today. We're Brady bunching. Actually, we'll switch over so that you guys can actually see Dave and Troy as we're having this conversation. But we're going to learn a little bit more about these guys, their history specifically with you guys in the oily community, and then of course some secrets that they have to help you grow because they know a thing or two about it. So without further ado, again, guys, if you're just coming in and you came here wanting help today, specifically with Get Oiling stuff, head over to the Q&A. We got time for you after we go through this first section here. So I'm going to switch over to speaker view, and what I would like to do is just to kind of kick this off, you guys, with some questions. Tell us about ULA. Who would like to take that one?
I can kick it off since I'm the popular one now with, everybody pays attention to me with all the confidence. Is that Marsha, Troy? I can't remember. I wasn't born yet. Marsha? Okay, so Marsha. No, actually, we are so happy to be here, honestly. Like, we do interviews all the time, but the Young Living family is just family to us because we've been around so many of you that are watching right now. I've seen some comments real quickly, and I know some of the names, and it's so cool to be back hanging out with you guys on this webinar. But I actually learned ULA from Troy way back in 1997, and I was actually working for Troy. And what he said to me at the time, I was doing an internship with him. I was getting my doctorate in chiropractic. He was an established chiropractor. I did my internship with him. And at the end of that year, at my graduation, he said, "You're going to be successful in business, but you have to be successful in all areas of life." And I remember thinking, like, what area? Business, money, like what areas of life? How does that work? And he said, "I want you to go to Vegas right after graduation, and I want to like explain this process of being successful in all 7 areas." And that's really where ULA was born for me in my life. Is I found myself sitting at the floor of the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas in 1997 in December. I'll never forget it. And we sat there with 3x5 note cards on the floor. Way less of a system than we have now, but it was 3x5 note cards, and on the top of each one of the 7 stacks of note cards was an area of life: fitness, finance, family, field, which is your career, faith, friends, and fun. And the first day was, where are you in those 7 areas? The second day is, where do you want to go? And the third day is, how are you going to get there? And that's when I learned ULA for the first time. And it was amazing to go home after 3 days in Vegas. Now, normally you're going home with a little bit of a headache and kind of like some blurred vision. And for me, it was like clear vision, and I felt jacked up because this was like the first time ever I knew what I wanted for my business, what I wanted to be as a dad, what I wanted to be for my health, my weight, what I want to do for fun, what I want to do with my faith. I came back and I had all of that, and that was 1997. So I started following that, and I found success in all 7 areas at a very young age, in my late 20s, kind of modeling what Troy was teaching me, really working on these ULA principles. And then Troy moved overseas, and I felt like I had it all. I had a big house, I had a big practice, was married, kids, everything was flowing. And I just drifted from ULA. I quit doing my ULA wheel. I quit doing my step 2, my plan, my path, my dreams, my goals. And I just sat back and said, wow, I'm 29 and I'm king of my house, and this is amazing, and everything's great. And I lost track of that. And where I found myself in 2007, 8, 9 was I found myself going through a divorce, going through a bankruptcy, losing the house, losing the cars, all of that. And I reached out to Dr. Troy. We had lost touch with each other as buddies. And I reached out to him and I said, you're never going to believe where I am right now, but I'm in a motel on the bad side of town. I'm driving my mom's beat up old car because my cool cars have been repossessed. And this is where my life is. And at that same time, he was young, retired, houses around the world, married 20 some years, running Ironman. He was living ULA at all 7 areas, and I was on ULA. And I reached out to him and he said, where you are today is just where you are. It's not who you are. And you're designed by God for something better than this. Like, you have to get back to ULA. And that was actually the first time I even thought of the word ULA in probably years, or the concept of ULA, because I was coasting, And when I went to the mountains the next day, I lived in Utah at the time. I'm from North Dakota originally. But when I went to the mountains the next day and I grabbed a notebook and I started working on what do I need to do to get my life back on track? I got to the field section, which is career. And I started writing how I'm going to build this clinic and I will have these dreams of helping these patients. And then I was like, what do I really want? I remember back in the day in 1997, 1998, when we were in the Hard Rock Hotel, Troy would look at my dreams on a note card. He would rip them up in front of me. And he would say, like, that is dreaming too small. That is dumb. You got to dream bigger than that. And I ripped that page out of my notebook and I go, okay, what do I really want to do? And it really came out that what I want to do is, if I can get my life back on track with ULA, I want to share ULA with the world. And so 2012 came, and we were actually at Troy's cabin, right where he is sitting right now is the chair I was sitting in. When he said to me, he said, hey, your life is better. And you said you're going to share this with the world. How do you want to do that? And we actually started outlining the concepts, the stuff we worked on. We started putting it into the 7 areas of life you need to balance and grow, the 3 simple steps, the 7 things that get in the way, which we deal with a lot of people in Young Living with, the blockers like fear, self-sabotage. These are huge blockers with the Young Living people that we'll talk about today. And then we started talking about what can move your life forward faster, like the accelerators, like gratitude, love, passion, wisdom, integrity. And we outlined it, manuscript it, wrote a book, and then the rest was history. And now we sit here today with you, and there's been over 1 million books sold, and now a coaching network and all of that. And we can talk about everything in between, but that's really what ULA is. And for all the Young Living members, we want you to crush business, go win at business, but also you can do it and keep your family life together and keep the rest of your life together.
Wow. So first, but before, because I've got a question for you about that book, because I hear there's a fun story connected to it. But for people who are uninitiated, what does ULA mean? What does this stand for?
So in 1997, they were called goal setting meetings. And if you know Troy, that sounds exactly like what he would call them. And I'm like, dude, we can't go to Vegas for a goal setting meeting. Like, nerds do that. That's the lamest thing on the planet. So he was like frustrated after a while. And he's like, what do you want to call it? Like, what do you want to call it? And I'm like, I don't know what I want to call it, but I'm not going to Vegas for a goal setting meeting. And then he said, how do you feel when your life is balanced? I'm like, ooh la la, baby. And that's where the word ULA came from, is ooh la la, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. Yep.
I'd go to Vegas for that. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So I hear there's a Gary connection with this book, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Troy can take that.
Yeah, definitely. Like when the book came out, the book really isn't a book. It's a framework. It's a process. It's what we used to do as a group of guys every year to step outside the chaos of life, to to really take a time out and reflect upon the year we had lived and the year we're going to live and say, where am I in this moment? Because every year we're at a different place. Sometimes family's good, but money's tight. Sometimes money's good, but you're struggling with a teen or a spouse, or sometimes your health is an issue. So every year we revisit ourselves and revisit our goals and commit and recommit and reaffirm to what's important to us. So it's really a process, and we put it in this book. And at the time, now we have a publisher and a traditional kind of publishing deal and everything. But back then it was a self-published book, and we just simply put this out in the universe and said, hey, this framework is valuable. It's helped me in so many ways, more than just business and career, but it's helped me engage in my marriage and engage as a father. It's helped me have fun and not defer it until 65. It's helped me have a faith walk and understand that that's important because it's being removed from everything else. So it kept me clear on our definition of success. And we're like, we need this out there. So we self-published a book and threw it out there. And like everyone who self-published a book and you throw it out there, nothing happens. Like your family and friend buy it. But then it started to happen. Celebrities got a hold of it. Some players in the NFL got a hold of it. CEOs got a hold of it. One of those being Gary Young in Young Living. So how the connection came about there is Mary, they have a farm in Idaho, a special place for them. And Mary, a leader in Young Living, gave the book to the executive team and to Mary and Gary, bought a box of books and handed them around. We didn't know anything about Young Living at this time. You got to understand, like not a thing. Both Dave and I had chiropractic licenses this time. And we had massage therapists that used Young Living. Now we know in looking back that used Young Living essential oils. We just walk by that room and go, that's a funky smelling room. Like we don't know much about that room, but it's busy and it has this, it smells different than the rest of the rooms. Like we didn't know essential oils. We were about natural health care and wellness and we align on so many things, but we just didn't know. We were on this side of the office seeing patients. Our massage therapists were over here using essential oils. But anyway, Mary reads this book to Gary on a road trip, and Gary goes, our members need ULA. And both levels, right? So the new members need confidence. They need to be able to set goals in a way that they can achieve them, because most people set goals and fail and actually feel worse about themselves. They need a framework, and they need to stand out. They need something that lets them stand out, where big business builders, the upper diamond, crown diamond, and above, platinum and above, their life starts to become out of balance because they're a victim of their own success many times. They've been dreaming of financial abundance, and now they have financial abundance, but their marriage is holding on by a thread. Case by case, we see this. Or they're feeling the guilt of not spending any time with their children, or their health is taking a hit because it's intense to grow that level of a network marketing business. It is an effort. It can be done. There's model after model in different ways it can be done, but anyone telling you it's easy is not being forthright with you. It can be done, but it takes effort, and then other areas suffer. So he wanted it for those members to remind them. Gary wanted members for a lifetime. He didn't want people to build a business and burn out and go to the next business. So he had the vision. Gary always sees things other people can't see. So he had the vision of, hey, we need to take care of these upper level leaders so that they keep their life in balance, so they stay with Young Living long term and they don't fry out. So they reached out to us and called a meeting and just said, hey, and you gotta see it at the time. Like at the time, the book did nothing. All of a sudden, the book just took off. Like it went from nothing to, I can't explain how quickly it went from zero to holy. So Dave came down and like we sorted through opportunities. Someone wanted to do an hula hoop. We talked about this the other day. Someone wanted to do a green blender. And we're actually going through the collaborations and the opportunities of what we should do. And then we researched this company called Young Living. And we're like, hey, wellness, purpose, and abundance. We met the executive team, we met Gary. And once we met Gary, it was game over. We went up and actually, I wore Carhartts for the first time, which is like work clothes. The first and last time I put on work clothes. And I sat in tractors just for pictures. I don't think I ran one. I don't think he'd trust me with one. But like we actually saw the work and the intensity and the passion, because at the end of the day, we're about someone passionately pursue their God-given purpose. And Gary's God-given purpose was to provide the best essential oils on the planet. And that's what he could care less about the business side of things when we saw him. He was the first one up at the farm. He was the last one down. And it was all about the purest products and all about, like, he would sit there and talk about this leaf for like 12 hours to us. Like we, you know, just like this, and, you know, and it was impressive. It was impressive to see that. And it was one of we've done many collaborations, but it's one of our most special because, like Dave mentioned early on, to this day, every day we're communicating with Young Living members, and we love them because they have big dreams, and we support them because we want them to win in their business, but we also don't want them to lose at life in the process. You know, we don't want them to hit this high rank and go through a divorce and have health issues and stress issues and, you know, lose faith and defer joy until some later date. It is possible to balance your life, but it takes effort, and it takes a framework, and it takes focus.
Powerful stuff. So speaking of this framework, you guys have really done a great job of kind of drilling down to the core of like the things you need to do and sort of systematizing this. There's an actual like white paper that you guys have that we're going to be giving away, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this in another interview that we've written 3 books, and I believe it's like 800 pages of content. And if you look back to the beginning of this, Dave mentioned it, at this point, we wrote this book to tell a story to help some people. I was completely retired 10 years ago. I mean, literally sold my business. I was checked out. So we didn't know where this was going to go. So I had a Hotmail email account. That was my social media presence. I had a Hotmail email account, didn't have Facebook, didn't have didn't have Twitter, didn't have anything. Dave's cooler than I am, so he had Twitter and he had some other things. So people would ask us along the way, in all lines of work, Young Living especially, network marketing especially, because people want to be noticed. They want to grow their thing. They want to grow a sub-brand within a brand. They want to be an influencer. They want to be a leader. They want to be someone that people come to and say, hey, you know, how can you're an authority in my life. What can you do for me? So people would ask us, like, how did you go? Because we went from, I remember speaking, we have stories on this, but speaking for free, and, you know, how do we go from speaking for free to $50,000 per event? How do we go from like not even a social media presence at all to over 1 million followers? How do we, I mean, all of the things that we did, how do we go from self-publishing to a traditional publishing deal? All of the things, how do we go from no TV to getting TV in virtually every stop on the ULA Dream Tour? Like, how do we do this? And it was done organically without sitting in a boardroom. The title of the white paper is How Did 2 Guys in Their Joggers and Jammies Build the Multi-Million-Dollar Lifestyle Brand? And it's 23 pages of what we did right, but as valuable, what we did wrong. And if you're going to offer that to your people, it's great. It's completely free. It's the questions that we get asked all the time on how did you go from 0 to where you are today? And it'll save people tons of time, tons of frustration, and tons of money, by the way.
I think you're muted, Ashley.
Yeah, you're muted. But I was reading your lips, and it was beautiful what you were saying. It was like, it was priceless. You'll never be able to.
He said the ULA guys are fun.
That's exactly what cool. I said. I was reading all of these amazing comments, that people are talking about you guys. No, I was going to say, so for anybody who wants to get access to this, we're going to put a link below the recording of this video, and we're going to shoot you guys an email out as well, how you can get access to that. And there are some people in the chat over here who are like, I have that white paper. It's super good. So props to that. So where is ULA today? I mean, you guys, you worked with Gary, with corporate, with leaders and Young Living for years. And you put these frameworks and systems in place. You've helped a lot of people. There's people in the chat here who are talking about how much they love you guys and how much you've helped them. Where is ULA now?
You know, this should not be a 1-hour workshop or a 1-hour webinar. It should be like a day. And we should just tell stories about Gary and the farm and meeting him and the stuff he's taught us and said to us, and just the Young Living members and how Troy called it living young for the first month when we first got involved, and how Troy said he wanted an oil that was like a Red Bull and that was wrong, but Gary quickly corrected us with a laugh. So there's so many good stories that are in there, but ULA's taken a major shift. Where we were with ULA is actually, when you look at all the ULA stuff prior to about 6 months ago, it was a green logo which when we built that logo out, everything was green. ULA was green. And it was like, we are going to put our head down on the earth, feet on the earth, and we're going to go build a brand. Like, we're going to work our butts off for the next 7 years, and we're going to like get ULA everywhere. And that's what we did. We did 2 guys, one bus, 2 guys, 50 states, million dreams. We're going to travel the world teaching ULA. And about 3-4 years ago, we realized that if we really want ULA to change the world everywhere, just like if Gary was the only one that just had oil and he handed out to people one-on-one, he knew at one time he needed to open that up where other people could also be part of sharing ULA or sharing oils. We were the same way. We knew it about 3-4 years ago. We had a lot of conversations about that. And we decided that, once our brand was right, once the baby was growing up a little bit, not of diapers, and we felt like our brand, this lifestyle brand, was ready, we would invite other people in to take that to the next level. And we always laugh. The first dream on the ULA bus in Coronado Island, years ago, the first dream that we put on there was to change the world with the word. We put it on a faith sticker. We put it right underneath the driver's side door handle. And we always said if we would have a mulligan, we'd go back and peel off the 27 layers of stickers and just say, together changing the world with the word, because that's really what's happened. Is so many people have embraced this message. So many people have been teaching ULA for free for years, especially in Young Living, in the corporate world. People are teaching ULA all over. And we said, now it's time to certify people, teach them how to teach ULA, help them not only grow their Young Living business or home-based business or use ULA at their corporations or their family or their church, but let's teach them how to do that. So we shifted the logo from green to blue, a sky blue color, as like now we're opening up to the big visions, the dreaming big of where we really want ULA to be. And that's our next 7-year focus. We take all of our businesses way before ULA, we take our businesses in 7-year chunks. And the first 7 years of ULA was, let's build a brand and help as many people as we can. We kind of had an idea of where it would go. It exceeded our expectations. Like Troy was saying, over 1 million people on social media, and 1 million books sold, and ULA's kind of out there now. And now empowering other people and educating other people and certifying people to become certified ULA life coaches, so they can not only go share ULA, but also they grow themselves personally going through the process. The best way to learn anything for yourself is to teach it. So you really, really know the depth of ULA is when you start teaching it and get certified in it. And then also, so many people in Young Living and other network marketing companies have grabbed onto ULA, and they're using it to lead their teams, to grow their businesses, to keep, that continuity throughout their teams as well. So that's where ULA is today. I mean, this is an exciting place for us. We were nervous about this place because we didn't want to just like let our brand just go to people and let them run wild with it. So we spent years building an amazing program. We figured out everything that was wrong in life coaching. We feel like we've completely disrupted that industry 1,000,000%, because people get life coaching degrees for $20,000, $30,000. They have no idea how to sign up people. They don't know how to get results. They don't know how to get paid. So we came in with a framework that teaches you exactly how to coach people. We co-coach clients with you. We teach all about the blockers, breaking through fear and guilt and self-sabotage, and bringing in passion, love, wisdom, finding your purpose, and all the marketing tools, everything to do that. So yeah, we're really proud of that. And that's where we are now. And it's just growing so fast. It's actually fun to just watch all the new people coming in, and great people from all walks of life coming in to learn ULA and start to share it.
That's amazing. And we've got a bunch of people in the chat here right now who are like, I'm becoming an ULA life coach. I'm getting trained in this. Tell us a little bit about what this looks like for a Young Living distributor who would become an ULA life coach. What would this do for them?
It's awesome, and it is a diverse group of people, but there are a bunch of network marketing people in it, because it is allowing them to stand out and learn a framework that they can lead and teach others in a framework. Because if you guys, I feel like we're in a super unique position in network marketing because we can see, like, we're outside the forest, so we can see the trees. Like, we've been hanging out inside and outside in boardrooms and with Crown Diamonds and with people starting, like, we have been that person who's seen this thing from every angle. And what we see are the challenges and the struggles at all levels. But for the early, we talked about this earlier, it's like, how do you stand out, and how do you systemize, how do you make a duplicatable system that not only I can grow my Young Living business, but also keep the things that are valuable to me in my life, like my family and my health and my faith walk, in check. So how do I do that? And how do I do that in a way that leads others to do the same thing, so I don't burn out my people, my downline, and they go somewhere else? Because this is the valuable thing about it, is they're saying, hey, finally there's a framework. And Dave was talking about other life coaching certifications. It's basically motivation. It's basically free-form coaching. Like you just, it's like a hot tub experience. When you're in it, you feel amazing. You get out, you start shaking, right? I mean, it's like nothing beyond the hot tub works. What we teach, Ula, from day one, from sitting in this porch, from Dave calling me from a hotel after losing everything, it's basically putting his life back in the framework. Where am I in the 7 areas right now? And at that point, it wasn't pretty. It was bankrupt. It was divorced. It was I'm mad at God. It was I'm angry. And then where do you want to go? And then what are the action steps I'm going to take to get there? And a whole section, by the way, which is probably the most valuable section in Young Living, that certified coaches get trained on how to walk people through this, are blockers. And we could spend 10 weeks talking about blockers, about in Young Living, like this is us being outside looking at the forest going, man, Young Living, this is, we love you. Like we're hugging you right now with just value, just truth. And truth is you guys are so busy looking sideways in envy that you're not looking forward at the person who needs to hear you. You're not looking forward at the person who's using chemicals to get better rather than the benefits of natural products. You're too busy looking. She said that. I cannot tell you how many times we've coached people on, I can't believe she said this. Are you kidding me? Like, you are bigger than that. Your mission is big. So people get their Young Living business themselves. They get in their own way because they're struggling from envy. Or sometimes it's straight up laziness. People have shown you models of how to grow your business. Some do it with social media. Some do it with small groups. Some people are bloggers. Some people affiliate with clinics. We've seen people hit high ranks doing it many different ways. But are you willing to do the work? Like you have mentors around you in this group right now, 13,000 people on this page. There is someone in this group who could help a newbie get to the level they want to be just by saying, hey, I've been where you've been, but are you willing to do the work? I mean, we could go through the blockers one by one. Self-sabotage. Ask yourself, do you feel worth Crown Diamond? If you in your heart, you can say it, Crown Diamond, here I come, and post it and do a picture and jump. But if you don't believe it in your heart, it's never going to happen. So it's like, where are you with your own self-worth? Do you feel worthy of success? Do you feel worthy of a good marriage? Do you feel worthy of good health? And so these are the things that coaches do, is break people over their blockers. Because, so here's your dreams. Here's the framework. There's the blockers. And if you don't get over the blockers, you're stuck. And you're stuck in frustration. And then you start becoming a victim and start complaining and start comparing and start embracing the drama that is prevalent in network marketing that's helping no one. So you have to get passionate about, I want to help people with this product. And I need to learn, really you're learning a framework and a system of when I run into fear, when I run into self-sabotage, when I run into laziness, what are the action steps I need to take to break through?
That is so powerful. And so what it sounds like is that if you're hearing this and these are things that you need help with, this isn't just a framework for you to overcome these issues yourself and to thrive in these areas of your life, but it's also a path for you to be able to apply these things and facilitate that for others. Is that right?
That's exactly right. And that's kind of the key of the whole thing, is what we're hearing as people, especially Young Living people, as they're getting certified. The whole certification is, holy cow, this is all about me. I need to be better at this. I need to break through my fears. I need to break through self-sabotage. I need to find my passions again. I need to balance my life and grow my business. I need to live my dreams because I'm worthy of that. I'm designed by God for greatness and purpose. I need to go live that. So that's what they're feeling going through the certification. Once they get certified, then they go, it's almost like we call it like the Mr. Miyagi, is they learn all these tools. And now when they get that call from someone in the downline saying, hey, I have this fear of having this class. Hey, I'm struggling because I'm growing my young business, but my husband just doesn't understand, or my friend is causing drama. Now you're equipped with the tools. You've been Mr. Miyagi, you're Karate Kid now, where you're equipped with the tools to say, hey, I know exactly how you need to break through this fear. Let me talk to you about that. Hey, you can start coaching other people in your downline, and it builds that continuity and it decreases the drama. It builds the continuity and starts to increase, like the network marketing members and the Young Living members that are certified dual life coaches are all reporting that they're seeing it work in their business to now start to grow their business. But also more importantly than that is they're keeping their own life in balance. They're growing their business and they're keeping the drama down. They're keeping some of that craziness down, and they're getting more of a team feel. So they're not having those conflicts popping up all the time. And that's the key part to this. I love being on this webinar because we have been working with Young Living members so long, and so many are like family. And it is what Troy was saying. It's like, you're building your business, but this one person said, it's like, who cares? Like, let's help you break through that so you can keep going and keep envisioning your dream. We said this so many times. If Gary would have stopped the first time someone says, I don't know about essential oils, he goes, yeah, you're right. Maybe we'll just go put everything back away and not do this essential oil thing or not do the business. Think about it. How many times Gary had to jump through obstacles of people trying to hold him back, and he did it. And if he did it, we can do it. And we have to teach you the tools and the mindset on how to do that. And that's what we work through with the coaching program. That's
right. Yeah. We don't come into this equipped in the ways that we need to be, but we can choose to become equipped in the ways that will serve our growth. So how, what does it look like to become an ULA life coach? You know, the timeframes, like how does that work if somebody were to get started with you guys and become a life coach?
The cool thing about it is you can't just click to become a life coach, like click to buy. We started the process, and that's how we started it. And then we realized we want to make sure that it's a good fit for both people, that it's a good fit for the person. We don't want someone to sign up for certification. It's a bad experience for them. And we also we want to make sure that the coaches really the criteria. So if you want to know there's 5, but if the 2 basic criteria to become a new life coach, the cool thing is you don't have to be perfect and you don't have to be successful. You don't have to be like, I'm amazing. We don't want those people. They can go do something else. We want broken people, but who are aspiring to be better. But they need to have a heart for helping other people. So that's number 1. They need to have the heart that Dave and I have. Like, we want to make the world a better place. We believe that where we're going as a culture is the wrong direction. If you look at the 7 F's of ULA, like fitness, just look at some of the statistics of where we're heading as a culture in the category of fitness. In finance, debt is out of control. We're ahead of 2008 levels. Family, 53% of first marriages end in divorce. Field, which is career, 55 to 70% of us drive every day to a job we hate. Just think of that. That's not us saying this. That is statistics. We pull them out every year for ULAPalooza. Picture the person waking up to drive to a job they hate, to turn around, to come home to a spouse they can't stand, to look at a stack of bills they can't pay. And what we're saying is this needs to be done differently. So we have a heart for helping those people and a deep desire to make a difference in the world. So if that's a person who has that, what they do is they go to a site and they talk to an advisor coach. Some of our advisor coaches, by the way, are in Young Living, or have been. But they're people who just say, hey, see if it's a good fit. And then they follow video training that I've seen people finish it as quickly as a week to 3 months. An average is about a month. And then they have the training. But what separates ULA life coaching certification from the others is it doesn't stop there. Every month you get trained by Dave and I on a Zoom like this, a private Zoom. There's a private Facebook group. We have a master coach who works with you twice a month as a group. We also have a sales team that works with you on an ongoing basis. So we don't just certify you, print this thing. We work with you because personal development is personal development. It's not an event. It's like every day in ULA, we wake up and try to be better versions of ourselves. There's a major storm here. Can you guys pick up on that?
Perfect. No, you're good. You're good.
Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, I can barely hear myself.
If you just blow away, dude, I'll take over. I know ULA.
Yeah, just take over. Yeah, dude, you're way better. You're way better at this than I am too.
No, you.
Yeah, you're way better at this. So really, how people get started is, I think, talk to an advisor coach and see if it's a good fit. And we encourage you to look at every other. When we built this, Dave mentioned it. The life coaching industry is broken. I mean, it's broken. People get the certification, they spend 10, 15 grand and go, now what? They don't know how to get people to follow them. They don't know how to get results, and they have no idea how to get paid. So like anything, we look at what's the problem and we try to solve that with having coaches, having the content, we have professional marketers who write emails for people. We have graphic designers. Everyone loves the ULA graphics. Our graphics design team creates graphics for the coaches. So they come out looking like a pro. And that's why new people in Young Living like it is it separates you from the noise of network marketing. There's something that makes you unique, because there are how many distributors? 2 million distributors in Young Living. So that's noisy. So how are you going to get attention in this subgroup And, that's what people are doing. So I love it. Because it's completely in alignment with our hearts. It's completely in alignment with our mission. That now we have this small army of people who have a heart for helping other people, who really want to make a difference in the world. And some people are doing it because they want to build a multi-million-dollar coaching empire. We have one guy who's doing it strictly to learn the content so he can teach it to his kids. So, I mean, it's all walks of life for all different reasons, but we'd be honored if you take a look, because we'd love to have you join us in this mission.
Awesome. Guys, if this sounds like you, if this is a path that you're feeling called to and you want to speak with an advisor, you can go to getoiling.com/Oola, OOLA. And there you'll actually learn a little bit more about this. I see a lot of more specific questions coming through. You're going to get some more answers over there on that page, as well as you can set yourself up with a conversation with one of your coach advisors, right? From that link?
Yeah, that's the best thing to do, actually. And that is the only way to get in, is set up with an advisor coach. And like Troy said, a couple of them are actually pretty high level Young Living people who have actually loved Oola. Oola saved, their marriage or parts of where they were going down a rabbit hole of not so great things, and it saved them. And now they're become life coaches, and now they become advisory coaches, and they're actually working with people saying, hey, this is what the program is about. This is, if it's a good fit for you, this is how it be. And then they interview the people too. Like, do you have a heart for helping people? Do you want to create a little side hustle? Do you want to use it to grow your Young Living business? What do you want with it? And then if it's a good fit, they guide them through the whole process. So if you're interested at all, just get on a call with an advisor coach and let them walk you through the whole process.
Mm-hmm. And this is global as well, right? Because there's a couple of questions coming through about, access to this or that. I mean, this is all over the world, right?
Yeah, we have coaches in all 50 states. I think we added our 12th or 13th country last night in 4 continents. So yeah, it's global.
Wow. Awesome. Guys, head over to that link, getoiling.com/Oola. There was a couple of good questions that came through that I want to make sure that we hit on here. First, you had mentioned, Dave, where you sort of, you started to master some of these things, right? And then you lost track. Let me find that question that was here. Where did it go? Oh yeah, here we go. Can you offer a perspective on why, if we achieve near or definite Oola, we relax about maintaining, maybe just go enjoy it? What do you think about like the complacency spot, right? Like kind of speaking to that, because this person felt like this has happened before. Like she's felt it, she loved it, but how do we get around that complacency part?
I love that question. And actually, we in Oola, when we sat back when we were sitting literally where Troy is sitting right now, it's always weird when he's sitting in that seat. We're on a Zoom or a webinar, because I was sitting there when we discussed this exact topic. And what year was that, bud? 2012, 2011, something like that, where we were sitting there. And what really, it was like, how did this happen to me? Like, how did I have everything and how did I start to lose it? And we called it the drift, which is complacency. I literally drifted from the principles of Oola. And when you let life just kind of happen to you, it takes you down a road that you don't want to go. But when you consciously say, hey, this is what I want for my life, even if you're at a point where you're really happy, you don't always need to achieve more. You might at that point go, hey, my business is great. My money's great. You know what I'm going to do? It's not being complacent I'm going to keep my business going, and I'm going to travel, or I'm going to spend time with my family, or I'm going to just spend more time with my kids, or I'm going to actually now get fit because I had to give up some of my fitness as I was trying to build my business. It's not being complacent. If it's what you want, it's congruent with your dreams, your values, what you want for your life and your heart. If you do that and have a plan for that, that's completely not complacent. I got complacent. I was completely like, this is amazing. I don't have to do anything. I was going to work 2 days a week. I was on a boat, which is great, but I didn't have all the other stuff built in. And what happened was when everything started to crash in 2007, I wasn't prepared to manage that with the markets crashing and the housing market crashing. I wasn't prepared for that. Just like a lot of people coming into 2020, no one was prepared for COVID, everything that's happening with the economy today. So right now, in your plan, without getting complacent, have those backup plans, have that emergency fund, have contingency plans on knowing that, hey, this is the lifestyle I want and I got to build it. So it's really being really clear on what your dreams and goals are for yourself, your life, and your family, and then living that, but also having, hey, if this starts to go sideways, I have an emergency fund. I'm not going to worry about, or this is what I'm going to do with my business. I'm going to jump back in. So you can actually design your life. And that's what ULA is all about, is design the life you want to live, not what someone else is telling you to live, but design the life you want to live. And once you do that, you're never going to be complacent, because then you're so excited about the life you built. The only reason you're getting complacent is because you built a life and then you sat back and it's not even really the life you wanted and you started to drift from it. So you got to build a life you want. You'll never be complacent in going after it every day.
That's absolutely amazing. And the fact that these are things that you started out with, right? And you achieved this great success with at a young age, and then can come back around 10 years later and it's still the truth, right? Like,
yeah.
Still universally applicable. Guys, this is so amazing. I mean, I'm excited for so many of you who are, I mean, I'm seeing it in the comments. We got people who are training to be life coaches with you guys right now. People who are like, I really want to, it's on my list. Guys, go do it. Start that conversation. Growing yourself is the key to growing every aspect of your life, including your Young Living business. So guys, I'm so excited to have you here today. Where do people go to get books? That was another question. Where can they find these amazing books that you guys have written?
The best places for everything is just go to ulalife.com. And that's a great place to start. If you want to connect with us personally on social media, if you want to learn books, there's some free challenges in there. There's actually a free life balance test. There's just cool things on there. We want to give all this information out there because we know that as people grow their own life personally, they're going to put off a light that other people will want. And that's really what we want to see. We really want to see how you're talking about earlier. You asked Dave a question about coaching and the benefits of coaching. And I think the biggest benefit of being a coach is you just become better and people want what you have. If you've ever been around a leader, a real leader, I mean, not someone who self-professes to be a leader, they're just a magnet because they're glowing with growth and they're glowing with purpose. And that's really what this does. So anything that gets you in line with your purpose is going to put off a light that's going to attract people. And that's not tactical and that's not a marketing tip, but it's truth. Truth is that if you're in your lane, you'll be able to attract more people to your Young Living business.
Got one more question for you guys about self-doubt, right? If you're in the, I'm not there yet, why should anyone listen to what I have to say? I mean, if someone's kind of feeling that out right now, how do you suggest addressing that? And of course, how do you guys address that kind of thing in a systematic way?
So we just did a training in the private coaching group on this topic of mindset, and basically that's a limiting belief. We are not born unconfident. So you somewhere along your journey, someone has told you that you're less than, you're not capable of, you failed at a business, and that has eroded at your confidence. But that is a learned behavior. The beautiful thing, and this is the ULA framework again, and a coach, maybe if you don't want to be a coach, maybe you need to find a coach, an ULA coach who can guide you through this. But if you are lacking confidence, you need to understand that was learned and it can be unlearned. It's a simple, not truth. And usually you overcome a limiting behavior with two things. One is an affirmation. And an affirmation, I would say in that case, is I am designed by God for greatness, so your opinion doesn't matter. Like, I have a purpose, and your opinion, the person who eroded your confidence, that opinion doesn't matter. And it's with action. And it's in building confidence. Even when we built the ULA coaching framework, it's a framework for a reason. When we said the coaching industry is broken, people stand in front of their cool cars and say, be like me. That's broken. That's 1985. It doesn't work. Fake it till you make it. It's a broken concept. It just doesn't work. Authenticity. But the truth is in the framework. I can dump Dave's life in the framework from the bottom and he can pull out. I can take mine at a different level and I can go to the next level. All of you can put your life in the framework and go, you know what? My health is good. My marriage is good. My Young Living business is struggling. I need to put attention on that. I need to overcome these 3 blockers. I need to be more humble and more grateful, and I need to take action every day. So building confidence comes with reps, comes with many wins along the way. Many times you say, I see people all the time. The ULA bus is where we collect dreams, and we just let people organically put a dream on the bus. Someone brand new to Young Living is, I want to be Crown Diamond by June. And I'm like, okay, it could happen. There's probably one person on the planet who's done it, but why don't you sign up 3 people by next month? Let's start there. Like, that's how confidence happens. Let's sign up 1. Let's have one Facebook Live talking about your love of essential oils. Let's send out 1 email. Let's do 1 post. Like, get some of this confidence comes from that because what happens is we set these lofty goals so many times and we don't believe ourselves anymore. Like, it's like you're that friend who doesn't show up on time or do anything, and you say, I'm going to hit Crown Diamond, and your internal dialogue is, no, you're not, because nothing you tell yourself ever happens. So you need to switch that and start having some mini wins along the way that eventually when you say that, again, going back to the framework, that's integrity, keeping your word to yourself, that when I tell myself I'm going to do something, I do it. And once the language switches from I'm going to fail again to, hey, when I tell myself, man, it's going down, that's where confidence comes from.
Are we okay on time if I expand on that a touch?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, just one thing on that, because this is such a young living thing, and I get asked this question a lot too, is like, hey, when your life was at the bottom, like, how did you get back on track to build ULA and all that? And I think anyone watching right now, like, if you struggle with like self-confidence or your life isn't where you want it to do, Troy hit on it perfectly when he said, start hitting those little wins. And what I did for sure was you first have to get grateful for where you are exactly, like where I am right now, whatever I'm going through. And it's going to be hard for some of you, because I know back in the day when I was going through divorce, it was hard to be grateful in those moments, but you have to get grateful for that. And that's a mindset. You work on being grateful in your mindset, digging into where did this stuff come from? Where did you start learning? And this is what a coach can help you do. Or if you go become a certified coach, you'll go through this, but where did I learn that I'm not good enough? Where did I learn that I'm not smart enough? Where did I learn these things? Why did I pick that up? Start to uncover some of that so you can bury that with gratitude, not bury it with forgetting about it because it comes back up, but bury it with gratitude. But then you have to take those 3 action steps a day. What we teach in ULA in step 3, we have all of our coaches do this all the time, is at the end of every night, you have a note card. With your note card, you have 3 things on that note card that you're going to do the next day that move you in the direction of your ULA life. So when people say to me, like, you were in a motel, you lost everything, you were driving your mom's crappy car, you didn't have a job, like, how did you go from that to ULA in like 5-6 years or writing the book? And really, it was working my butt off. Every night I would go to bed and I'd say, these 3 things I'm doing tomorrow before I go to bed. And when you wake up and you hit 3 mini goals a day, like you wake up the next morning, you hit 3 mini goals a day that move you where you want your life to go, your young living business or your marriage or whatever it is, that's 1,000 mini goals a year. That's a ton. Like that's enough. And that's all you need to do. So you wake up with your heart full of gratitude. You understand that you're designed by God for greatness and a purpose. You understand that you are enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. And then you take 3 action steps and you start to build that wheel of self-confidence because you're actually doing what you said you're going to do. If you don't do what you say you're going to do, I'm going to hit Royal Crown Diamond by June, and you signed up 3 months ago, and you don't hit it by July, your self-confidence is like, well, I guess I'm not Royal Crown Diamond, so whatever, not what I thought. That's not how this works. What you are going to do is the next day you're going to get up, maybe do that Facebook Live because it's on your note card, and you're going to go for a walk and clear your mind. You're going to come back and meditate. And then the next day you're going to sign up that one person that really wants to do it, and you're going to call them back. That's how you get to Royal Crown Diamond by June sometime when it's naturally ready for you. But along the way, you build your self-confidence, you become a better leader. This is why I'm so passionate about people becoming certified life coaches too, even if they want to, like the one guy who wants to just educate his family, bring him closer to faith. The one guy wants to build a multi-million-dollar company, the women that want to build multi-million-dollar life coaching businesses, but also for all the people that say, I want to use this to be a better leader, to be a better mom, to be a better business builder in my home-based business. That's why I want to do that. And that's what I'm passionate about, because I'm seeing people step into those roles and say, this framework, when I went through the certification, changed my life. And now I'm able to start changing other people's lives. And it's valuable, whether you're doing it to get paid a ton or you're doing it for free. We have people speaking at MOPS groups and church groups and schools. Awesome. Go do it. We have people that are charging $5,000 a coaching session. Great. Go do it. Do whatever you want. But take this thing called ULA and go share it with the world.
Yeah, that's so powerful, you guys. I hope that you're understanding that what we're talking about right now, while called a life coaching certification on its face, you're really becoming a part of a movement here, where you can kind of choose the direction that you go with this, whether it is to improve where you are in your life right now or to actually pursue this as an additional income stream for yourself. I mean, at the end of the day, we didn't show up into any of the things that we did unless we like went to school to be an engineer or do software or whatever. We didn't come with like a blueprint, right? And I think the benefit of having a framework like what these guys have had in place since, what, 1997? or some working of it since 1997 is, I mean, it sounds about as close as you can get to a step-by-step to create this balance in all areas of your life and succeed exactly the way you want to. So make sure you're heading over there, getoiling.com/ULA to learn more about this, whether you're going to actually become a coach and pursue that path, or work with a coach and get the benefits of this. I just so excited to see what you guys produce with what you learn with this. There was one question real quick for you guys, and then we've got a couple that are related more, I guess, toward the Get Oiling system for people who came here with a need for support today. Are you selling affirmation cards encompassing the 7 Fs?
So at ulalife.com, we have affirmation bands because everything in ULA is a system and a framework. So I pick on Marsha Brady and he picks on my nerdiness. Everything is color coded and everything is even Gary had we color coded the oils because everything is linked. Everyone knows how difficult change is. Like we all know we want to change. We all know we want to improve, but only 8% of the people who set goals every year actually achieve them. 92% don't. So everything is in a framework and in a system. So if you're working on finance, for instance, there's a 7-word. A 7's a complete number. There's a bunch of 7s in ULA. You wear a green band, which is I am financially free and living abundantly. It's 7 words. And you say that instead of like, I'm not worthy or money's evil or the negative language in your head. So we actually put them on these wristbands. So whatever you're working on that day, you can be reminded by seeing that color. And if you still have the essential oils, you can diffuse the essential oil and just be reminded and read the note card. Your whole day is intentional on the goals you're working on. That is the key to the success of the system and the framework, is because it's so easily today to get distracted. It's so easily today to get pulled into you wake up with some intent, and after opening your email box, you find yourself by 3 o'clock going, I have done nothing directly in alignment with the big goals and dreams in my heart. So affirmations are a big part of it. The affirmation bands a whole set is like $7 or something, but you can find them on ulalife.com.
Oh,
and the
so
coaches,
cool
by the way, they're trained and they teach it. Yeah, they make it so you can see them every day, but you'll even find them on the website as part of the free challenges. They're all over the place.
Awesome. I had a question from Julie. Should I jump into ULA on my own or find someone who is already certified to learn?
I think the best thing is to talk to an advisor coach, because some people you'll become better by being certified, because when you teach something, you learn it at a different level. So advisor coaches are really good at saying, actually at this point in your life, you're better to be paired with a coach. A coach can walk you through the 10-week framework. Maybe at this stage in your life and development, you're better to we'll put you with a good coach and they can walk you through the framework. But many people are to the point because they don't need to be experts. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to have a heart for helping other people and want to do work that matters. They'll say, hey, no, I think you are ready to be certified. And by being certified, the first step is growing and balancing your own life, like learning these principles in this framework in depth. I love being an ULA guy because it keeps me accountable to the framework. If I wasn't an ULA guy, I would eat frosting out of a jar every night. I probably would, because I just love that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I need to be accountable to the framework because I know that people are listening and it matters and it's important. So I love the idea of becoming certified.
Oof, that's awesome. All right, one more question. Does ULA Life Coaching fit the ULA for Christians book?
So what we built the framework for is for you to be able to take this framework once you learn it and then teach it to anybody. So I was on the call. This is one thing I want to extend to your group too, is that anybody who signed up to be a certified ULA life coach up until the 21st of July gets a free 30-minute coaching call with me, which we charge $2,500 for in ULA. But I'll extend that to your guys' group as well. So if you book a call with an advisor coach and you decide to be a certified ULA life coach, you'll jump on. Literally, I call you with my phone. And we'll jump on a 30-minute phone call and we'll break through any mindset thing you have limiting you, or talk business strategy or marketing strategy, whatever. So we'll offer that to you guys as well. But I was on the call with some coaches yesterday, some new coaches that were coming in, and every single coach wants to do something completely different with the framework. Some of them want to coach moms over 60 who kids just left the house and they're empty nesters. And the next coach, there's a mother and a daughter team that signed up to be certified life coaches because they want to now teach healthcare workers how to find balance. They want to teach nurses. They're nurses. They know the world is out of balance. They know the healthcare system is very stressful. Nurses have very stressful lives. They want to teach that. There's a guy who is a youth pastor in his church, and he signed up because he wants to incorporate ULA into his church. There was one Young Living member yesterday who wants to grow her business, and she's having drama on her team, and she's got certified to know how to deal with this drama and build her business, and she wants to grow personally and professionally. So it's all over the board. And when it comes to the Christian thing, if you want to take that framework and just teach that in Christian churches, 100% you can do that. So you take it and you just tweak a couple things, and it's Christian, it's Young Living, it's whoever you want to teach, it goes to the audience you want to train.
Okay, so one more time for the people in the back, if your head didn't just explode like a few people did here in the comments, if you decide to become an ULA life coach, if you're watching this right now and it is before July 21st of 2020, you're going to get a 30-minute call with Dave.
And I just commented on that. I just commented on that because I can't believe he did that, because we did it for International ULA Week. We have 7/7 is International ULA Day. We have 7 days of celebration. We just came off it. We haven't done that since the coaching launched right in the beginning. And he was just saying he has, I think, how many calls you have right after this? How many calls do you have this afternoon?
I have 12.
Yeah, he has 12 calls this afternoon, and he had the same thing yesterday, same thing the day before, same thing tomorrow. And I'm like, bro, I mean, I know you're committed to the cause, but you got to keep your own life in balance. And so I honestly didn't think he was going to mention that, but take advantage. It's $2,500 to get a half an hour of this guy's time. No joke. And we don't even do it. We just don't have the bandwidth for it. So he did it for International ULA Day, and the fact that he's doing it for your group is awesome. But that was him, not me. Don't call me. I'm going to be on the lake. I'm going to be living the ULA life.
He's going to be licking frosting out of a jar.
No, just one night a week. That's 1 night a week. But I'm going to be on the lake because someone has to live the life, and someone can be teaching you how to live the life. I'll be living the framework.
So you're on the lake licking frosting right now, and I'm going through a 3-day fast on the phone called 12 coaches a day.
Because I'm at my goal weight, and you're how many pounds away? Come on, let's just be honest. Let's keep it real. If I wasn't, I'd be fasting. I know you do. I'm proud of you. You're doing great.
Somebody's got to hold the example up for us to follow.
Yeah, someone's got to go fishing, and someone's got to sit on the dock and read a book, and I'll be that guy today.
Oh boy. All right, guys, in the spirit of making Dave busy, getoiling.com/ULA, get your call with an advisor coach, see if this is a path for you. And if it is, you're going to get 30 minutes with this guy.
And then we'll put Troy's cell number in the show notes below.
No.
Send him a text.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And one of the things too, I think is really important, and just to kind of touch back on your point there, Dave, the fact that you guys operate off of frameworks, and I'm like you, Troy, I really nerd out over the details and the color coding and the project management and all this kind of stuff, right? The fact that you have this organized into frameworks means you can lift up the concepts and place them into your life, your career, your situation, your specific goals. You aren't, you aren't putting on a hat and walking on one path, right? You're walking on yours.
I love this. I mean, that's what we attribute that when this program launched and we quickly went to all 50 states and 11 countries, out of the gate, we're like, why are people so attracted to this? We have a private Facebook group that we just launched and have almost 2,000 people already. It's because it's disrupting the life coaching industry for this reason. And the reason we did it was a point of humility. We don't want to be the hero. We want to make the person we're coaching the hero of their own story. So many people think someone's going to fly into their life with a cape and just I'll fix it all. No, the reality is your goals and dreams are different than other people's. Your life experiences are different. The framework is really the secret sauce, and all the coaches is a guide. The coach is just someone that this framework has been tested tens of thousands of times. We spoke all over the world. We sold all these books. People contact us every day that ULA's transformed my life. It's not ULA, it's a framework. The first book is a framework. ULApalooza is a framework. Every concept we ever speak, every training we ever do is linked to a framework. If it's people are talking about mindset training or goal setting, but it's so ambiguous. It's so nice for left brain people like us, Ashley, to just be able to go, okay, here's where I am. Here's where I want to go. Now, someone please tell me what I need to do. And if you have a proven framework, why wouldn't you do that rather than try to wake up and guess? And that's what keeps people on task, because again, we're living in a life of distractions. And if we just go with our mood that morning, but if you wake up and take 3 action steps toward a dream you've committed to, all of a sudden you put your head up 6 months from now and you went from just starting in Young Living to executive or to silver, because you've actually executed something. Life's not a wishing well. Life's not just throw it out there and hope it sticks. That creates a culture of disappointment. The people that move stuff around, the people that have a clear vision and focus and take steps, make that happen. And a framework does that precisely.
That's powerful. And frameworks, they beget action as opposed to just sitting and listening to great ideas and stuffing your head full of them. You're actually applying that. That's so amazing. I love what you guys are doing. Thank you so much for being here. You're welcome to run off to your, it looks like the sun's back out, run off to your lake, eat your icing. We're going to answer some Get Oiling questions here before we let everyone go. All right, so Emily is asking, and Greg, we may need to demo this. Can we set what time our emails go out? She also had a question about our vaults inside of Get Oiling. I'll go ahead and answer those for you here. Greg, if you're open to doing a quick demo of how we show the email times, that would be
Is this where, cool. Is this where we roll?
If you want to.
Yeah, if you want to get going, everybody, or you can stick around. There's another question about physical space and clutter around productivity. If you guys want to chime in.
Oh, Troy needs to answer that. We're going to stay. I'm going to keep him off the lake.
All right. There's
All right,
only
we're
a
going to
couple.
watch Greg's demo.
There's only a couple. So if we could show really quickly what time, how we can change the time our emails go out. And I'm going to answer these other questions here about our vault. So for those of you who don't know, we have a member area inside of Get Oiling. This is something that you can use as a replacement to a Facebook group. If you wanted, you can build automations into it. But can you go live is the question. And the answer is yes, but not in the same way you go live on Facebook. So you can actually put in Zoom call links, which Zoom is included with your Get Oiling. You can put a Zoom link into your vault for your exclusive group. So if you have a coaching group, let's just say for instance, and you meet weekly, you can have the recurring link to your call that is exclusive to those people in that group. And then of course you can take the recording from that call and plug it in on a page inside of your vault. So you don't go live like you go live in a feed on Facebook.
Did you make me co-host? I'm not able to share, sorry.
Oh, yes, sorry. Let's see. I could do that real quick. There we go. Okay, you are now co-host. Thank you. All right, she also said, can we go, let's see, trying to get ready for my first 28-day challenge. Just ran a 3-day hydration challenge on Facebook and it was awesome, but I'd like to explore Get Oiling Vault more. So one of the things you should make sure that you do is go over to getoiling.com/member training. That is going to really give you the full breakdown of everything in our member area and what it can do for you.
Awesome. So yeah, as far as what time the emails go out, assuming you're sending a bulk email, you go to your contact manager here, click the manage link in the contacts menu. When you're sending the mail, of course you can filter or select the contacts that you want to send to, but click the actions button and click mail. And then you can choose to schedule at a specific time. Like if I want to send this, I don't know, tomorrow, not at midnight, that's a bad time, but let's say 1 p.m. Central, you could do that, hit done, type your message, and then you can schedule it out and the system will just send it for you. Additionally, if you're the type that gets some content from our content providers, some of the partners that we have, and you're sending out campaigns, if you're on the premium or higher plan, you can actually schedule the messages to go out at a specific time of day. So what I'm going to do, click on the settings link here in the contacts menu and go to campaigns, and I'll just sort of randomly choose one of these here, and I'll click on it to edit it. And so if you're on premium or higher, you'll see this little link that says advanced features. Just click that, it'll expand, and then you can choose the time. Like, I want this second one to start or to be sent out at, I don't know, 4 p.m. Central, I'll just say, and then it'll send it out around that time. So you can do, you can get pretty fine-grained. Pretty much, I think basic and higher do allow you to schedule. It might even be starter, but I think it's basic and higher allow you to do the scheduling I showed you a minute ago. This here on the campaigns is premium and higher. So yeah, let me know if you have any other follow-up questions on that.
Yeah, also, since that question was around 28-day challenges, so if you wanted to do like a daily text to get people to go engage with the content for accountability, you can create a campaign that goes out every day and then just set the time. Right now, the default for you is going to be, what is it, 5 or 6 Central Time, Greg?
Yeah, I think it's 5 p.m. Central if you choose default time.
Mm-hmm. And then you can set that to be if you want it to be in the morning or at night, or set to your time zone. and so on, depending on how you run that. All right, so moving on to another question. Jean asks, she says, love your system. One area I've noticed is not included is physical space. For me, my physical space must be orderly or I'm a wreck and cannot function. I have friends who are hoarders, and this is an area that really holds them back. I have a friend who recently had her apartment remodeled while she lived in it, and she was in absolute chaos and could not function. Curious about your thoughts on this. So Jean didn't specify if this was a Get Oiling question or an ULA question. I think that you guys might have something fun to share about your physical space if you have any insights to share there. Well, I think that's you, Troy.
Totally do. Oh no, I totally do, because I'm a big believer in this, that you have to clear the clutter of your life to see what matters, right? We're so distracted on so many things that where there's a purpose inside all of us, and it's more intense for some people than others. Like, I love a clear workspace. I think it's so valuable because then I'm not moving stuff from here to here and then listing it, spending time shopping and then buying it on Facebook Marketplace and then finding a place to store it and then trying to sell it. I mean, so much people, one of the biggest objections to growth is I don't have enough time. And if I could go into your life and find where you're wasting time. We do this with the coaches. We do this beautiful thing at ULAPalooza, this demonstration that we have 7 oranges and a big bowl of Skittles. And Skittles represent the junk we do. Like, it's wasted time. It's like scrolling Instagram, doing just the stuff we waste time. And we pour in all these Skittles of like answering emails and whatever. And then we take the 7 oranges, which represent the 7 key areas of life, and you put them in this big jar and they don't fit. If you wait to put in the important things after you deal with all the clutter, they'll never fit. The things that really matter will never fit. But ironically, in this demonstration, if you put in the key things first, and then you pour in the Skittles, the miscellaneous stuff in our life that takes up time, it actually fits. And I always think when we do these interviews, one of our goals we always talk about is like, what are the value we can bring? Like, we actually want some objective, action-oriented value for your members in this group. And we never try to do more than 3 because there's a number in 3 of what we can comprehend. Checking out the coaching opportunity is amazing for leadership and for confidence and for keeping your own life in check, especially in network marketing. That's opportunity number 1. Opportunity number 2 is that white paper, which is just free value of how we grew our thing and how you can grow yours. I'm going to give you the 3rd one right now, this book. No affiliation with this book. It's just a great book. I know the author because I was such a fan of the book. I reached out to him and said, dude, we need to have lunch. It's The More of Less. And it's finding the life you want under everything you own. And it's removing the things that don't matter so you pay attention to things that do matter. And the reason I reached out to the author, his name is Joshua Becker, and we had a great lunch. And I'm just a big fan now because it's so in line with the ULA. It means, like, if you looked in those cluttered office, you're just moving stuff around. And it's causing stress, and you can't see your purpose or you can't see the important things because you're just buried in things that don't matter. So it's a real part of the process of you becoming fully who you were intended to be.
Powerful. There's a suggestion here. Maybe physical space can, I think you guys get in with the ULA frameworks. I'm sure that you guys address this in something, right? Like, we do. The core things.
It's basically, you got to clear the table before you can set it. So it's definitely part of the process. You can't dive right into the framework without clearing it. So it's all, again, part of the framework, and finding the time is usually removing distractions.
So powerful. Guys, getoiling.com/ULA. Any questions that you have, you're going to find the answers there. And then, of course, you'll have links off to other things you can explore, products that these guys are offering, books and things like that. Getoiling.com/ULA. That's going to take you straight over to where you can get yourself booked with one of these coaches. So you can determine, and you guys can collectively determine whether or not this is a great fit for you. One last question, and we will be sending the white paper out to you as well. It'll be linked below this recording on YouTube. And then, of course, you'll get that in the email here in just a bit after we process this recording. So one last question, this is a Get Oiling question, a strategy question. Linda is asking regarding blogs, is it suggested to put links and speak about Young Living products in topics? For example, a blog on natural ways to promote sleep. Can you speak about lavender and magnesium and put links there for your favorite oil or unwind? So Linda, if you were an affiliate marketer, I would 100% say put the links in it. If you were selling, I don't know, oil from Amazon, which you are not, and for good reason. You don't want to put Young Living purchase links on your blog And I would actually say, in fact, that you might want to keep the curiosity a little higher on your blog post so that you can get people onto conversations with you. The strategy with content, you guys, if you're using our site to attract people to you who are interested in having a conversation about how they can change their life, you don't want to have everything out in front of the curtain. You want to leave something to the imagination. So talk about magnesium, yes, talk about different types of supplements that you use, give value, but what you're ultimately trying to do is bring people closer to talking with you so that you can help shift them not just into a product purchase, but into a lifestyle change, right? So don't recommend that you link to Young Living directly. You can sometimes, but it doesn't need to be the thing that you do all the time. All right. But if you are an affiliate marketer and there's other products other than Young Living that you promote, by all means, put those on your blog. It's a great way to earn an additional income stream. All right. If you got questions about costs, other questions about ULA products, definitely head over getoiling.com/ULA. You're going to find those answers there. Dana, one more question, last one. Thank you guys for sticking around. Just confirming only texts can be scheduled, chats are sent individually. Texts and emails can be scheduled. Your broadcast emails and texts can be scheduled. Your campaigns can be set to go out at certain dates after they're applied. Chat is literally chat. It's like Facebook Messenger. You click the button. When they reply via text, you get that bubble pop up in your Get Oiling system, and then you can reply from there. So that's, if you want to schedule something that goes out to your people, you're going to want to schedule that via a broadcast or a campaign. All right. Great questions. Great attendance here today. Who's excited? Who is like super excited? Show of hands to go and learn more about what it's going to mean to become an ULA life coach, to become certified. Look at these hands popping up. Really so excited to see this. All right.
And even one person has already said, I already booked a call.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm telling you, the Dave thing is a big deal. Like that's a big deal because I would swamp his calendar because then he won't be bugging me on the phone.
I'm going to take it back. I'm not going to do it anymore. I just was thinking about it. I was looking. I'm just not going to. So
yes, he is.
Look for a hashtag about a week from now. How's Dave doing?
Yeah, he's slammed. But those calls are so valuable. I mean, one call with someone, because then you can sort out the individual things. I know people. He and I talk about it, and people are using them sometimes just to work on personal stuff, sometimes to grow their business. But it's valuable time. Definitely take advantage of that while it's available.
Yeah, definitely. That's so huge. So huge. All right, you guys, appreciate you so much for being here today. Thank you. You guys want to share any words, sign off? getoiling.com/ULA, guys. Let's do this.
It was amazing. Thank you, guys.
Hey, great. Thank you, Amanda, Jessica, Colin, Ashley. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Also, I do want to say, everybody in Young Living, thank you guys so much. It's always fun to hang out with you guys. We love you guys. And I have to say, be grateful, have faith, live ULA, because that's how we end everything. And then I'll let you guys sign off. So take care, guys.
All right. Mic drop. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.